Hi everyone, I'm Gayle. Thanks for joining me today for this class focusing on growth. So in North Carolina right now, it's springtime and you step outside and everything is growing. The grass is growing, the flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. And when I think of growth, I think of movement, I think of expansion, I think of challenge and opportunity. So we're all growing older. I mean, that's just something we can't change. But we could feel like we're growing younger, depending on what we're doing and our movements and our thoughts and our habits. This class is going to focus on lengthening and strengthening and finding that balance between stability and mobility and just celebrating the fact that we're breathing and we're alive. So let's start on our backs. So lie down on your back and just take a moment to feel your breath moving in and out, allowing your whole back to relax on the earth. Just letting your shoulders melt open and your back kind of melt and release into the floor. Then we'll start just with doing some pelvic tilts. So on your inhale, arch your spine, bringing your hip bones forward towards your feet, creating space under your back. On your exhale, move your hip bones towards your shoulders so you come into a posterior tilt and your back is flattened. And just go back and forth with your breath. Inhaling forward and lifting anterior tilt. Exhale, pressing down, releasing posterior tilt. See if you can feel your ribs moving with the awareness that your whole inner body is moving with your breath, as well as with the action of our pelvis. And then just let everything relax again, noticing how you're feeling. Bring your feet as close to your hips as you can, about hip distance apart, and start with your hands by your sides. Lift and spread all 10 toes and softly lower them down. Then press strongly into the earth so that your hips begin to rise up. Keep your inner thighs squeezing in towards each other. Press down a little more. Maybe you lift a little higher. On your next exhale, begin to lower down one vertebra at a time from your upper back down all the way into your lower back. Keeping the hips lifted, so keeping that posterior tilt until the very last moment. And let your hips gradually sink, connecting with the earth. Again, press down. Press down through your big toe mounds. Keep your inner thighs hugging in. Lift up maybe a little higher. Notice how your glutes are engaged. And slowly lower back down, lengthening your spine as you lower. Being very mindful here. And let your hips settle down. This time we're going to move our arms as well. So press into your feet, and as your hips lift, start to lift your arms up overhead, reaching your arms behind you. Press your inner thighs together and push down a little more. Reach your fingers as far away from your toes as you can. And keep your fingers kind of locked down there and start to slowly lengthen your spine down, just like we did the first couple times. But notice how you feel more length, like all the way through your arms, to your fingers, to your hips. And let's do that again. So press down, lift up. Keep those legs hugging in. Press down a little more. And keeping your fingers where they are, start to lower your back away from your hands. Finding that extra length. And just let everything settle down. Just notice how this feels. Notice if it feels almost like your spine is growing a little bit longer. And pick your knees up, keeping the length in your spine. Twist gently over to your right. Trying to keep the left shoulder down as much as you can. So maybe think of twisting your upper body over to the left. And let everything relax. And pull your left hips back to the ground to float your knees up and float them all the way over to the left. Try and keep your shoulders down on the ground if you can. Just let your body relax here. And pull your hips back down to the ground again. Hug your knees into your chest. And straighten out your legs. Lift your shoulders off the floor and point out through your toes. On your next inhale, pull the right knee in. Exhale, extend it out as you pull the left knee in. And just go back and forth, keeping your shoulders lifted off the floor and really stretching out through your toes. So every time you straighten that right leg, you're reaching out through the toes, pulling the left knee in, and then switching it up. And just continue to move back and forth a couple more times. Let's say 3 more times. So 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hug your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little massage, rocking your hips around in circles. And then let's rock up and come onto our hands and knees. Walk your knees back. Keep your hands reaching forward and press down into the earth with your hands. Lift up your shoulders a little bit and let your chest sink toward the floor. Gently push your hands down and forward into the floor. Notice how your hips move back a little bit. Try not to overextend like in the armpits. So you don't want the armpits dropping down. You want a little lift. And just lean back with your hips, push forward through your hands. On your next inhale, round forward, and we're going to lower down into a modified cobra. So see if you can get your pubic bone to the floor. Press down through your toes and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Gradually see if you can let your heart melt forward a little bit more. And inhale, lift up again, back into your puppy pose. And then inhale again, round forward into your modified cobra. And lower your chest down, bring your hands back, curl up into your full cobra, wherever that takes you right now. And think of growing from your toes all the way up through the crown of your head. Lift your hips up, walk your knees forward a little bit, stretch back into child's pose. And just gradually walk your fingers forward a little bit, finding extra length from your toes to your fingers. On your next inhale, round forward, and on your exhale, glide back. And then inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward. This time tuck your toes and exhale back into downward facing dog. Press down and forward through your hands. lift up through your low ribs and see if you can grow your heels towards the floor. So maybe your heels don't touch. Just think that there's this growth happening, lengthening out through your hamstrings, through your calves. From here, inhale, round forward into plank. And exhale, glide back into your down dog. Gradually stretching out through your heels. Inhale, round forward to plank. Exhale back to your down dog. Just see if you can grow a little bit with each movement. Grow in awareness. Grow in sensation. Grow in the movement. And inhale forward to plank. Then shift your weight into your right hand. Tap your right shoulder with your left hand and switch sides. And come back into plank. Bend your knees, pivot your feet to the left. Press down through your right shoulder, reach up through your left arm. On your exhale, reach your arm across. And inhale back up. Exhale across. Inhale back up. Last time, exhale across. Inhale back up. Lower your left hand down, come back into your plank. Bend your knees, pivot your feet to the right, toes to the right. Reach up through your right hand and press down through your left hand. So it's like there's energy pressing into the floor and energy rising up. On your exhale, reach your right arm across. Inhale back up. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Last one. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Come back into plank. And back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, reach your right leg up. And really reach it like you're growing your leg from your right hand to your right toes. And externally rotate your hips, stacking your hips. And then keeping your leg as high as you can, bring it out to the side and step it to the outside of your right hand. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Heel toe your foot across a little bit. And then reach both heels towards the ground. And alternate between an internal rotation of your hip and external rotation. So opening your hip out to the side and then hugging it back in. Just going back and forth. Continue like moving your heels towards the earth, into the earth. And you may have to bring your back foot in a little closer. You may have to do little modifications so this works for you. And lift the back heel up, rotate your heel down. We're going to come into triangle pose. So you might want to move your right foot in a little bit more. Press down into both feet. Stack your shoulder. Now you could have this right hand on a block or something to elevate a little bit, a book. Reach your right arm up. And reach your arm over your ear and then back towards your hip. Trying to keep the shoulder open the whole time and just go back and forth. Then find your center, coming into triangle pose. And see if maybe you can even pick your bottom hand off the floor, if that feels safe. So you really want to be using your legs and growing like energy from both feet down into the earth and pulling that energy up into your hips and reaching from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head, reaching from fingertips to fingertips. A couple more breaths here. And lower your left hand down. Bend your right knee and rise up, crescent lunge. Opening up. So you're always growing in every pose. Expanding, exploring. And slowly bring your hands back down, step forward into your front foot. Reach your left leg up into standing splits. It really helps to keep reaching up through the top toes. And send your left foot down, step your right leg back into down dog. Again, think of growing your heels into the earth. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg up. Reach out through your toes. Externally rotate your hip. And keeping it high as you can, bring it all the way forward to the outside of your left hand. Bring your left hand in and heel toe your foot across. Think of reaching both heels toward the floor. And then a little internal rotation of your hip, and then external rotation. Moving back and forth, in and out. Trying to stay grounded through your heels. Remember, you can always bring that back foot in a little bit. And now lift your back heel up, rotate it open. We're going to come into triangle pose. So you can take a moment to adjust your stance and open up. And reach your top arm over your ear and back by your hip, drawing a semicircle. Just going back and forth. And then reach straight up, push into both feet. Lengthen from your tailbone out through the crown of your head, from fingertip to fingertip. Nice and strong. And lower your top hand down. Step forward into your front foot, float your back leg up for standing splits. And lower your right leg down. And rise up, crescent lunge. Nice, slowly lower your hands back down. Step back, downward facing dog. Look towards your hands and hop or step forward. Inhale, lift up to lengthen through your spine. And exhale, fold. Press into the earth, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. Root down through the tripod of your foot. So the mound of the big toe, mound of the pinky toe, center of the heel. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears. On your next inhale, press into your toes, lift your heels up. And on your exhale, slowly lower down. Nice inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower down. And we're going to play with some balancing poses, tree poses, because trees really represent that energy of growth. Their roots go down, their branches and their leaves lift up. So now let's play with tree pose to really feel that sense of growth where we're pushing down, rooting down through our feet and lifting up through our upper body, through our fingers, and just experiencing that energy of tree pose. So let's start by finding the tripod of your foot, nice even weight between your feet. As you inhale, reach your arms up, pull your left knee up. Externally rotate your hip and place your foot on your inner thigh. Keep reaching up through your fingers as you draw in through the low ribs, maybe a little posterior tilt here. Then exhale, bend your elbows, cross your left ankle above your right knee, sink nice and low. Inhale, open up across your chest and your back, and exhale, pull your forearms together. Inhale, open out to the side. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, open again, and then we're going to come into warrior three. So nice strong legs. Reach back through your toes, forward through your fingers, down through your foot. And then bend your back knee, reach your knee up. As you reach up through your fingers, straighten your leg and slowly lower down. And just kind of shake everything out a bit. And let's practice balancing on the left leg. So again, find the tripod of your foot, maybe a little bit of a posterior tilt if you tend to have an anterior tilt. So want to root down. Inhale, reach your arms up as you draw your knee up. Reach up nice and tall. Externally rotate your hip, place your foot on your inner thigh. Continue to reach up. And then exhale, bend your knee, cross your ankle above your knee, sink down. Inhale, open up across the chest. And exhale, bring your forearms together. Inhale, open. Exhale, press together, come forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, press together. This time we're gonna press and reach into warrior three. And just keep growing through the pose. Then bend your back knee, bring it all the way forward again. Reaching your knee up, reaching your fingertips up. Straighten your leg and slowly lower down. Letting everything relax. And just kind of shake things out a little bit, shake it up. Maybe do a little bouncing. Relax your shoulders, shake it out. And let's come into a squat. Lower your hips down. And place your hands behind you. Straighten your legs. We'll do a seated tree pose. So pull your left foot into your right inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall and reach your left arm up and across to the outside of your right foot. Or if you can't reach that far, any place along your leg. Reach your right arm up and cross. And think of bowing over your leg. Now you may want to keep your wrists crossed or you may want to switch hands. And just gradually soften over your leg. So that with every breath, there's movement, there's expansion, there's a little challenge. And you might be up here, and this might feel great for you. It might be where you need to be, or you might be able to go a little lower. We're just going to stay here for a couple more breaths. And just finding ways of growing within this pose. Now take your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Reach your right leg forward and your right arm behind you. And just keep reaching, reaching, reaching. And bring your right arm forward. You can keep your leg straight or you can bend your knee. Just gently pull your leg up as you lift up through your heart. And release your leg, float it down. Straighten both legs out. Sit up nice and tall. And bring your right knee in for a tree pose. With your right knee out to the side. Lift your right arm up and reach it across. And reach your left arm up. Crossing your wrists, bowing over your leg. Again, you can keep your wrists crossed like they are uncrossed. And just find the space that you can expand into. Let yourself relax into this gradually. Couple more breaths here. You can walk your hands back, take your right hand to the outside of your foot or your ankle, Take your leg up and stretch your left arm behind you. So reaching out through your left toes and out through your left fingertips. And then come forward and lift your leg up. Your knee could be bent, could be straight. And lower your leg down, straighten both legs out. Again, notice how you're feeling. And lift your hips up, slowly lower onto your backs. Hug your knees into your chest. Lower your feet back down. And shift your hips a little bit to the right. Straighten your left leg on the floor and your right leg up in the air. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot or leg, wherever you can reach. Open your right arm out to the side and slowly bring your leg across. If you need to prop your foot up on a pillow or a block, feel free to do that. And you're also welcome to bend your left knee, reach for your left foot with your right hand. And press into the earth strongly through your right foot and through your left foot. So you create tension and engagement. And then let it relax. And we'll just stay here for a few breaths. And really be mindful of where you might still be holding tension. And see if you can exhale it out of you. Release your left foot if you were holding it. Pull your right hip back down to the ground to float your leg up. Give your foot a little massage, a little TLC. And slowly release your foot, lower it to the floor. And bend your knees, shift your hips a little bit to the left. Straighten your right leg on the floor and your left leg up in the air. Open your left arm out to the side and hold on to your left foot with your right hand or further up on your leg. And slowly bring your leg across. Again, press your feet into the floor to engage your muscles, and then let them relax. You're welcome to bend your right knee, reach for your right foot with your left hand, and just allow yourself to relax and let go here. And you can release your right foot, straighten your right leg out, pull your left hip back down, center your hips, and slowly lower your left leg all the way down. And hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big love hug and stretch out for Savasana. Just letting everything relax and let go. So I'll just stay here for about a minute with you. But if you have the time, the opportunity to stay in Savasana a little longer, it's really beneficial. We need to rest and restore and recover as much as we need challenge and to work on things and test ourselves. We want to always remember to come back into balance. Begin to stretch out through your fingers, toes, arms, and legs. And bend your knees, gently roll to your side. And just pause here for a moment, noticing how you feel. If you feel like you've grown in awareness, maybe just even feeling like your body has grown a little bit. If you've maybe unstuck some of the sticky places that tighten and shorten, so that you feel a sense of freedom and openness. And using your hands, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your energy and your dedication, and hopefully you feel really good. So please hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and see you again soon. Bye. And see you again soon. Bye.